Sal Pal Friday is brought to you by Dunkin'. This season, the pregame starts at Dunkin'. DD Perks members score a $1 medium hot or iced coffee on Eagle game day, so head to Dunkin' for your kick before kickoff. Excludes cold brews. I had a Dunkin' as Ryan was kind enough to buy one for me before the show today. Thank you, sir.
Of course, man.
That was the way we kick-started our show today. And let's get the Sal Pal Friday edition going right now as he, like all guests, appear via the Boardwalk Honda hotline as if you were at the Sixers game the other night. Sal didn't kick it off with Dunkin'. He kicked it off by ringing the bell. What's going on, Sal?
Well, I wanted to shoot up, but Brett Brown said I was under load management. So, I know I couldn't help out in the cause, but they came back and won the game. And I guess I'm taking total credit for Ben Simmons shooting and hitting the three, the first one of his career.
Did you talk to him before the game and give him a little pep?
Didn't have to. He just saw the passion that I brought to the bell. And I said, when it rang, it was about time.
Yeah. Now, do you remember the last time I saw you at the Sixers game? You got mad at me. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. We were in the locker room. LeBron James was there, and LeBron James starts talking Sal Pal. He starts imitating.
That's right.
In the locker room. And you were standing there, and I was like, Mike, you didn't have a camera? You didn't take a video of that? That was Instagram gold.
Right. Yeah. I
think Mike was Jeff, I think Mike was mesmerized by the moment.
I'm just thinking that in my head. I'm sure he was just standing with his mouth wide open.
I'm standing in the locker room. It's me, Sal, and LeBron James, and I'm listening to these guys converse, and I'm literally listening to LeBron tell Sal how much he loves watching him on NFL Live in the matchup show.
That's
and
awesome.
Sal looks at me after he leaves and said, "Did you videotape that?" I said, "No." Sorry.
It's like the reporter who says to the cameraman, "I hope you got that tornado that just went through that."
Oh, that's I was in college. That happened one time. I forgot to turn the camera on the day Don Nealon retired at West Virginia, and the teacher said to me, "Did you get the footage?" I said, "I forgot to turn the camera on. I was in the room."
No wonder why you're in radio.
Yes, yeah. I'm out of TV. I'm out.
Now we see that this is a habitual issue that you have.
All right, Sal. Well, we know this is a big one. At this stage of the season, where they are, I want to ask you. They were 5-6 last year. They scored 20 points a game. They went up to 27 points a game down the stretch and played really well. Does this team have any feel that it can duplicate that offensively?
Well, the two big differences, right? The first big difference is that the defense is much better this year, much healthier this year than it was last year at this time. So the defense should be able to get some turnover, should be able to get the offense better field position. The other big difference is that last year Nick Foles was playing quarterback, not Carson Wentz. Now, I hear the gears grinding in Jeff's head right now. Did Sal Pal just say that on the radio? Yeah, I did. And I don't think Carson is playing at the level he's capable of playing right now. And I'm just looking for that breakout game in the clutch, which he hasn't had in a while. Been injured last 2 years. November and December last year, December the year before. He needs a breakout game with the season on the line.
Does he have the weaponry to choose from to be able to do that? I mean, is this him that's an issue, or is it, hey, I just don't have the guys, I don't have the arsenal that I can really count on?
Well, let's talk about this game, this matchup, because that's what we're confronted with. I think you'll see Jay Ajayi for Jordan Howard, and for the life of me, Michael, I don't know why Howie Roseman waited until the last possible day last week to sign Ajayi. Jordan Howard was not cleared for contact all week last week. Ajayi should have been in the building Monday afternoon. Last week. Physical Monday afternoon, suit up for practice Wednesday instead of Boston Scott. I tell you right now, if Ajayi plays in the game instead of Boston Scott and the Eagles run the ball effectively, Eagles win that game.
How much of a workload, Sal, do you
The
think?
Eagles win that game.
Yeah, how much?
Let me give you a stat, Jeff. Before I go on.
Sure.
The Eagles are 26-2, a 9. This is unbelievable. Eagles are 26-2, a 929 win percentage, including the playoffs, since Doug Peterson became the head coach, when they have 30 or more rush attempts in a game.
How much do you?
26-2. That's insane, Jeff. Right?
It definitely is, Sal. I mean, to me, that means because knowing how Doug and Andy, his mentor, operate, when usually they pass to get the lead, and then when they're winning in the second half, they start to run the ball more and work that clock. So I wonder.
Yeah, okay, I get that, but you have the best pass defense in perhaps the last 5 to 10 years in New England. We know Baltimore ran up on them. We know Washington ran up on the Patriots.
Right. No, I'm not disagreeing with that. In fact, I'm just wondering your opinion on how much you think Jay Ajayi can actually carry, how much workload he can have in his first game in over a year and a half.
We will find out, because I guarantee you they're going to use him. There's going to be a workload. There's not going to be any load management for Jay Ajayi on Sunday.
One thing, Sal, I've said that's also different from last year, which why I'm a little bit, I guess, more pessimistic, is despite the fact that Foles came in and was able to play at a high level, last year at this time, Alshon Jeffrey was healthier and playing at a much better level than he is this year. Nelson Aguilar last year didn't have a great year, but he was not nearly as in a rut as he is this year as well. And obviously with Lane Johnson looking like he's going to be out and Andre Dillard starting at right tackle, you're not completely healthy on the offensive line either. So I'm trying to, we've all tried to talk it out, and we've talked about how they've surged under Doug in late November and December. But I look at, as you said, just this matchup alone, and I see more offensive pitfalls. I have a hard time seeing how they can put it together for this game with what they're facing from an injury and a production at wide receiver standpoint.
Jeff, I'm with you. Color me skeptical. I mean, Russell Wilson, if not for Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson's the MVP of the league, period, paragraph, end of sentence. Russell Wilson leads the NFL in red zone touchdown passes. It's virtually impossible to keep the Seahawks out of the end zone once they're in the red zone. They have 27 red zone touchdowns. That's the most in the NFL. And it's virtually impossible to keep them out of the red zone. They have 40 red zone possessions, first in the NFC. Right. This is a highly productive offense. Highly productive. Can you throw on them? Yeah. But the Eagles are not a throwing team right now.
Yeah, the Seahawks.
So I'm with you. I'm highly skeptical that the Eagles can win this game. But it's one of those games, right? It's a total season on the brink game where we have seen the character of this team before. Rise up and respond. And this is a game that will really test that theory, no question. And the bottom line is that Carson needs to play better down the stretch. Fourth quarter. Russell Wilson, again, number one fourth quarter quarterback in the NFL this year. Quarterback rating of 95 out of 100 in the fourth quarter. Carson Wentz, third from the bottom. Fourth quarter QBR 23 out of 100, 30th in the league. Among active starters right now, only Sam Darnold is worse in the fourth quarter than Carson.
Wow. Well, you just said it. No, last year 5-6, they got hot. They went down the stretch. We have known this. They have 4 very winnable games on the schedule. This one and Dallas are both up in the air. Do they need to win both of those games or just one of the Seahawks Dallas game in your view?
All right, what's their record right now?
5-5.
5.
Yep.
Okay. You win those 4 winnables, you got 9 wins. And if you lose these 2, you're 9-7. So you need help from the Cowboys because you're not going to get a wild card. Just look at the NFC. You need to win either the game against the Cowboys or this one. If you're going to win either one of them, You can only pick one. The obvious one is you got to beat the Cowboys at home.
Yeah.
And that means what? That means you're winning 5 straight to close the season.
Yeah, it's a weird spot because if they win this game and then won out, they would have won 6 games in a row. And I think the sound of all our voices, Sal, doesn't sound like this team has 6 straight wins in them.
We will find out Sunday. They got to respond. Now, Dillard playing right tackle is better than Dillard playing left tackle. Dillard has not shown that he is a first-round left tackle, which is what they drafted him to be. I've watched a lot of him in person, in practice, and on tape, from training camp all the way through this week, week 12. And I can tell you right now, he doesn't justify being a first-round left tackle. He could be a right tackle. He can run block and get some help as a pass blocker on the right side. But leaving him alone as the heir apparent to Jason Peters, Mike, I don't see it. Not yet.
All right, well, we'll see if he's at right tackle. He did had some odd comments today saying playing right tackle was like writing with your left hand when you're right. He didn't seem like he was all that comfortable, but we'll see if he looks better over there. They're going to need him because when Lane Johnson went out, I think we can all agree that was when the game changed last Sunday.
If I could do one thing, if I was king of the world, I could do one thing. I would ask Howie Roseman to shut down the West Coast scouting operation. Shut it down.
Stop taking Pac-12 guys.
Please. Give me the Big Ten and the SEC.
Yeah.
If you would need special permission from me if I was a general manager of the Eagles to cross the Mississippi River.
That should have stopped after Casey Matthews, to be honest with you.
When Eagles win, you win at Dunkin'. DD Perks members score a $1 medium hot or iced coffee for the day after every Eagles win. Let's hope there's one on Sunday. Eagles fans run on Dunkin'. Happy Thanksgiving, Sal, and we will catch up with you.
Okay, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks to all your listeners. I think the line went down from 3.5 to 1.5, right, Mike?
It did, yeah. It opened at 3. It was like 80% of the money's going Seattle's way.
Yeah, it was bet on Seattle, no question.
Yeah.
All right.
100%. All right, guys.
Sal Pal Friday here on the Sports Bash, 97.3 ESPN.